I'll slap you, bro. I'll slap you at the start of this podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Appo, my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the streaming services and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. And if you thought the cadence of that was wild, hey, have a look at the rest of our videos because they are wild. Have a look at the rest of our podcasts because they are wild. And if you're on the YouTubes, make sure you like and you subscribe, Vincent. Vincent, how are you, man? How are you?
I'm cold, bro. I'm cold. I'm out here, like and subscribe so we can make some money so I can, put the heating on. Because, bro, man's got layers on layers.
You're just doing, saving that money so you can, build up and buy you a house that has insulation.
That's exactly right. Right. They're telling me they got bricks here, but I reckon it's just like that kind of chainmail fencing that you see at sports venues.
They've got chicken wire, is what you're telling me.
They got chicken wire. They got chicken wire in here.
Like it's just a facade. What's going on there? Like you touch the wall and your hand goes through it.
If I lean on this wall too heavy, I'm saying hello to my neighbor.
Dude, and let me tell you, if you want to say hello to your neighbor, do that because that's quite a kind thing to do. But if you want to say hello to us, you can find us, bro. You can find us at Patreon. You can find us at Twitters. You can find us at Instagrams. You can find us at all those places. Go there, subscribe, hit the likes, hit the whatever you want to do. Is all right? Whatever you want to do's. Whatever you want to do's. Is that the right word, Vincent? Let's get into this, though. We are doing 1999's very own Office Space. I'm going to give you some facts on Office Space. This is available on Disney Plus, but it's also available on YouTube for rent for $4.99. Let me tell you, if you're paying $4.99 for this movie, you're losing in life. But I'm going to tell you one thing. It has the 7.7 out of 10 on the IMDb. It has the 80% on the Rotten Tomatoes. This had a budget of $10 million, and it made $12.2 million. And that's 99 millions, Like as in 1999 millions.
Yeah, which is a few more millions now. I mean, you look at that and you go, man, this movie didn't do well. But 2.2 million, that's a lot of money. I don't know who that goes to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if the budget contains everything that they're paying for. You know what I mean? They're paying for executive cuts. They're paying for, the dude that's cleaning up the space in the office where man's dropped something. Like from the top to the bottom.
The Office Space, if you will.
Yeah.
Like Mans who cleans it. The Office Space. Now, for those who know this movie, they know that this is not the hit TV show The Office, starring either Steve Carell or Ricky Gervais. But if you have made that, if you haven't made that distinction yet, look, just tell us and we'll do a whole episode on The Office. We'll do it. We'll just do an episode. We'll just turn this into the back catalogue of The Office podcast.
I haven't even watched The Office.
Well, it's fantastic. It's a good show. Both of them are very good. But
yeah,
Vincent,
I've watched the British one.
I haven't even got any talking points for this because I want to get into this after I do this synopsis for you, okay?
All right, do this synopsis.
Peter, a software engineer, is tired of his boring job and makes a vengeful plan with two of his friends to plant a virus in the company's system. Now, is that the computer system or just their, immune system? Because Office Space might be...
I think it's the computer system.
I was going to say, because if I hadn't seen this movie, I would have thought that Office Space was actually the Office Space in Wuhan. I thought that's maybe where it was coming from.
Bro, I think we get censored if we mention any of that still.
Is that legal? That's not legal on here.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll get censored. And then we'll end up somehow just I think it might be good for us to get censored. Because then maybe the right-winged individuals will start watching our content and they'll just put us up on a pedestal for being censored for just talking absolute smack.
Yeah.
We might run for government in the next 3 years.
That's right. Don't worry about
the United
ScoMo,
Back Catalogue Party.
And we can actually play soccer.
Dude, I think this is our next video. I'm sorry for those who are wanting to do the Office Space, but our next video is watching and reviewing politicians do sport.
Honestly, I mean,
we missed
anyone,
the opportunity for that as well.
We have. I mean, I just got done watching the ScoMo video for him damn near just tackling this kid literally half his size to the ground. I mean, Mans is in the suit and tie, and that's fine. You can play sport in a suit and tie. I've got no problems with that. But you need proper traction. You need the proper equipment on your feet because that's what's on the ground. It's like you need good tires on your car. Whatever is creating the friction to the surface of this earth, that needs to be top notch. Because otherwise, then you mess around and full body tackle a kid to the ground.
And look, I think for that reason alone, he's going to somehow win the election.
Yeah. That may or may not be a shame for whoever's watching that. I'm going to put that video in the show notes because if anyone hasn't watched that, they should. It's hilarious.
All right, let's get into Office Space. Vincent, I want to talk about this because as soon as I started watching this movie, I was like, I know why Vincent chose to do this movie. Because this is just working in an office. This is cubicle things. And that is your world. This is
I actually got recommended this movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Who recommended it to you?
Well, because I'm going through some career changes at the moment, and it was suggested that watching this, I was like, bro, management things. I was just talking about management, and they were suggesting I watch this because this is all about just like typical office situations, and so that's what I've done. I've watched it.
Well, not only is it office situation, but it's computer science things. Like these are computer software and hardware engineers. They're doing all those sorts of engineerings. So this is your world exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing TPS reports all day, every day.
And I mean, I don't really know what that is, but I think it's tomato and provolone sandwich. Like that's all I've got in regards to TPS forms.
Bro, they're talking about, where you didn't put the new cover on the TPS reports, and it's just like we're putting focaccia instead of ciabatta.
Vincent, let me tell you about ciabattas and focaccias because this Office Space movie is a world that I haven't really been a part of in that sense. I'm not a 9-to-5 man. I'm on the grind always. I've got different side hustles that keep me afloat. One of them is the Back Catalogue podcast, the podcast where we. But what I want to know about this movie is, for a man that lives in this world, what were some of the things that hit home for you, Vincent? That hit you right in either the feels of the hilarities or the feels of the damn. That's me.
I'm going to say not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't have any. I mean, to my particular situation, it almost has zero applicable properties.
What about the fact that you look the way that you do and you drive around listening to rap music?
Bro, I don't drive. I'm out here in silence in my car. That's no joke.
I mean, that's on brand for you. But also, I could just picture like a 45 minute to an hour drive of you just looking straight ahead. And you're just tight like that.
That's what it is,
Like, do you think about things, or you're just on the road? Like, you just have to focus on,
I think about things. It's a
like
time
you do indicator,
for... Yeah, I think about the indicator. Like, I should indicate now?
It's time for deep thought.
Or now? Now.
You got to keep him guessing, man. So
that's right.
That's not you, because that is most definitely me. I'm a quiet man, and I go around listening to gangster rap music. But as soon as someone comes too close to my car, I turn the music down because I don't want them to look in and think I'm disrespecting a particular culture. Rather, I'm appreciating it. But so there was nothing for you in this. There was nothing for you here.
I mean, I guess the kind of menial office tasks, like you go to the office, you go into the office, then you're at the office, and you sit down at your desk and you do the things you need to do, and that's it. Like, it's a grind. Like, that kind of thing kind of resonated with me slightly, but yeah, not a whole lot more than that.
Like like computer jams and whatnot.
Well, the printer stuff, like, I don't print anything. I don't print anything. Like, it's all electronic.
You're strictly environmental. That's exactly right. Yeah. Do they need to make an Office Space 2?
I mean, they could do it, but also this is probably applicable to a lot of other places.
Like, do they need to do an Office Space 2 work from home style, where it's just heads working from home and they're just doing tasks, and it's like, oh my god, Zoom isn't working. Oh my god,
they're on there and like, bro, my webcam ain't working. They're just playing like FIFA.
Hey, sorry, boss. My webcam isn't working, but I'm still invested in what you're saying. Sue. Man's forgot to click mute, and he's doing Sue's over there. But I mean, if you packed Ronaldo on Ultimate Team, you'd be saying it.
You'd be saying
Suey. You'd be saying Suey. Vincent, can I tell you something about this movie that we watched? I think that this was the general that plot that we got was fairly accurate, but the idea is that the main character, who I'm not good with names, but I can't remember this man's name, probably like Jim or something, Peter Gibbons. So Peter he works at this computer science place in a tech, and he's not enjoying his work, so he goes to a occupational therapist, and he gets hypnotized, but as he finishes getting hypnotized, the hypnotherapist dies, which I think is pretty hilarious. So this man is stayed in a hypnotized state for the rest of his life. He's just in that state. And Vincent is frozen on me. Or he's just looking at me.
No, I was just looking at that. No. I was just laughing. I just had the same face. I just holding it, I was just pretending I was on my way to work. I'm just looking straight ahead. That's it.
Dude, there was no change in your there was no movement. I was like, I had to look in the background to see if there's any movements in the back.
There's any wind, like leaves rustling in the back. That's hilarious.
So he goes into this world, and the hypnotherapist was telling him to be more relaxed about things and do the things that he enjoys. So he goes into the world doing that. And, through, a bunch of shenanigans, he ends up getting a top-tier job at a top-tier role at his job.
Yeah, essentially what happens is, he's out there doing the most, or not doing the most. He's on the grind, and he gets hypnotized, and he's supposed to work on Saturday. His boss says, hey, I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday. This is the meme. There's the meme from this. This is, I'm going to need you to, do something, do X here, which is that's the meme, and he just sleeps in. He's just doing absolutely the bare minimum. He's just like rocking up late. What else is he doing? He's doing other things. That's right.
He's going on dates with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, he's going on dates with Jennifer Aniston. He's just like gutting fish on his desk.
On his desk.
Which, I mean, that's
filthy, man.
That's relatable office things. That's just relatable office things. And he just removes one of the partitions on his cubicle so he can see outside, which I would love to do that. I would do that if I could, but unfortunately, my partition just looks at another partition. So,
but you know what? That might be nice to just look at someone just for the whole day, just stare right at them while you're doing your work.
No, I'm not looking at someone. I'm just looking at their partition. I'm just looking at another wall. It's just slightly further away.
What if you took down their partition? Is what I'm saying.
I'm just lock eyes with some random from accounting.
Yeah, you learn something from that. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say, Vincent, was that you talked about memes just earlier. This is a haven for memes. There's certain shots in this that I was like, that's a meme. That's a meme. There's Milton. Milton is a character in this who has featured in memes before.
I can't remember what that one is. What's that?
I'm sure we could type in. I'm sure we could type in Office Space memes.
Milton
I'm
meme
sure we could type in
generator.
Office Space meme.
Oh, that's right. It was. I was told. I was told that there would be cake, stuff like that. I was, excuse me, something like that. I do like the one with the manager man with his arm on the partition. I'm going to have to go ahead and ask you to do something.
That was a classic. You would scroll through 9gag and you would see that meme of the boss, Mr. Milberg or whatever the man's name is, Lumberg, and he would be saying, that would be great. He'd be doing whatever meme it is, and that would be great.
That would be great. Yep, that's the meme.
Those
and
aspects
that's
of this
absolutely
movie,
content.
those aspects of this movie were significantly content filled for me. And there was another bit that I really loved where Peter was talking to his neighbor, and he asked his neighbor. He said to him, "Has anyone ever come to you and tell you that you have a case of the Mondays?" And the neighbor's reaction to that was probably one of the funniest things that I've seen in movies in recent times. I was laughing out loud, legitimately laughing out loud, not like but like an actual laugh out loud at this man's reaction to that. Which, he says the S word, so we can't say it here on air. But do you remember that bit, Vincent?
I can't remember exactly what he says, but I remember the vibe that he was giving off.
Because I think he's in a meme as well. He's got a meme face, But that's something that that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, man, Vincent, I get that feeling too, something like that. Anyway, this movie. I'm on the Wikipedia page now, and we're talking. This is a cult classic. Like, this is a cult classic movie because of all these things. The also hilarious one is the one where they smash the printer. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Did you ever have like videos on your computer and you just don't know how they got there? And it was like one of them was those things? Or is that just my personal experience? Maybe my brother just put them on our computer.
Personal experience.
Because I remember that video and watching it like multiple times. Yeah. And like, I had that. I had like, that one with I think it's from, I can't remember what the movie is, but like it's a cow like doing Matrix things and it's versing a man. It's like shooting milk at him. And then I had like, Saddam Hussein getting hung. Like I had all these videos that were just on my computer, and it was absolutely wild to me that these just existed in my space.
That's because you were too heavy on the LimeWire.
I think so. But also that video was something that we saw before we had even seen the movie. Yeah. And it's a classic. Like, it's the three guys going out, the three main characters, smashing the printer, and rap music is blaring in the background.
It is a hilarious scene. And I think, this movie has some great scenes in it, which is a shame because the overall movie is pretty average.
It is pretty top tier trash because there is no middle act. The movie starts off and there's like hilarious things going on, and then obviously they hatch the plan to put the virus inside the computer, but then just I don't even know what happens, and then the movie finishes. And then
they burn down the office. Like that's what happens. That's that's exactly my feeling as well. Is that I really enjoyed the first part of this movie. Mm-hmm. The first part of the movie was great because man's there, and then he goes in and they're doing like they've got consultants in, and they're basically going, which one of these heads can we fire? Can we get rid of to improve efficiency in inverted commas? And Peter Gibbons rocks up, and he's late. He's not wearing the suit and tie. He's just got his shirt unbuttoned with the t-shirt and jeans, and
the flip-flops.
He's just there, and the flip flops. That's right. And he's there. He's putting his legs up. He's putting his feet up. And he's going, yeah, man, like I don't really do much, I just put in a few things and change a few numbers, and that's it. That's my job. And Mans gets promoted to manager. And honestly, the whole bit is just the whole start of this movie is really good, I thought. But as soon as they're doing like crime things, it's straight downhill, and we're talking not like a slope downhill. We're talking the White Cliffs of Dover downhill.
Well, it's not just that it's because they're doing crime things. It's because like there's substance within the start of the movie, and it feels like they had the start and they're like, what we're going to do is we're going to chuck in about 3-4 memes in here. We're going to have his neighbor who's just drinking beers. Like, that's hilarious. We're going to have Milton. He's going to say he's going to burn the place down. So at the end, Milton's going to burn the place down. But in the middle, I haven't got anything. So let's just do crimes.
Let's just do crimes.
What's something that we could do like a crime with computer things? Let's do a virus. 100%. Let's do a virus.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard about the virus and the fact that it rounds up the dollar or the cent so that they just gradually get money, I was like, bro, doesn't sound like a virus to me.
You were messaging me immediately after that saying like, how can we set this up?
I was like, that sounds like the cure to my 9 to 5, not the virus. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would like. But again, that's illegal, and that's neither here nor there. We won't talk about that heavily on this podcast, the podcast where we. Was there anything in here, Vincent, that you felt, because you're the man who's not only of the times now, but understands that some things aren't of the time. Was there anything that hit you as being like, this is not of the time now. We can't be saying these sorts of things right now, Vincent?
Like non-PC things.
Like non-PC things.
Not off the top of my head. I did watch this movie 2 weeks ago, though.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, there was nothing really that crazy. I mean, people were mad about Jennifer Aniston's history. You know, her dating history, which I think that's just childish games.
As in the movie or in real life?
In the movie.
Yeah.
Like
right.
the character, Mr. Gibbon.
Yeah, because he thought that she dated like his boss, the man he hates, but it was a different. Yeah. It was a different. I don't know. Peter
Lumlow or whatever his name is.
Lumberg. It was a different Lumberg. It was like James Lumberg.
Yeah.
Instead of Bill.
But like other than that, there was absolute hitters in this movie. I think that Peter Gibbons did well. I think that Lumberg did well. I think that Milton did well. I think that Jennifer Aniston. It's good seeing Jennifer Aniston in things that aren't Friends.
Oh, there was Michael Bolton in there. That dude was hilarious.
Bolton was hilarious.
Like, there was a lot of bits in this movie that hit. Like, for example, the whole thing with Michael Bolton and how he's got the same name as Michael Bolton. And there were just recurring things that just, it was just quality jokes there. Also Milton, just how he's there occasionally. The bit with the cake was hilarious. Like, mans goes in first in. He's thinking first in, best dressed to get a piece of the cake. But they're like, nah, you got to wait, you got to pass it through. And he's saying like, last time I did this and I didn't get any cake. I better not get any. I better get some cake. And lo and behold, he doesn't get any cake. And that's just Milton things. And that's just some of the hits of this movie, which, I mean, the hits of this movie were almost not the plot.
No, absolutely. And I think that's why this is a cult classic, because I think a lot of cult classics, when you watch them, especially comedies, the story itself is not really there. It's almost an assortment of skits that make people laugh. And it's obviously this, I don't know, who created this film, but a lot of them are independent films that become obviously taken up by bigger production companies. But I think that it's okay to have, not necessarily a decent plot, so long as those hits are consistent throughout the movie. And I don't know if those hits were consistent.
There was a bit in the middle that I agree that it was a bit too plot heavy, Yeah,
and I'm just trying to figure out who David Herman, who is Michael Bolton, the character Michael Bolton, who he plays in other things. I'm trying to see if he's still doing things. And Mans is doing a lot of voice work. He's doing a lot of voice work.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of voice work.
So he's in Futurama, Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
He's not Bob, though.
He's doing a lot of, a lot of voices. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I mean, that's just David Herman. That's just David Herman being Michael Bolton in the movie Office Space things.
But it's good that he's doing things. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah.
But Vincent, I'm just going to have to say, just right off the wazoo here, that I'd give this movie maybe a 6.2 out of 10 on the IMDb.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about accurate, because I mean, like we have said, there are hits in here. There are hits, and it's there are enough hits to make it give it that cult classic status. So
and it's got brevity. It's got brevity.
I don't exactly know what that word means. I'm about to Google it right now. But it's got absolute brevity. All right, and we're talking brevity login. That's not the right thing. This is not the right thing. You're gonna have to
should I make up a word? I think brevity. Brevity. That means like to be brief. Brevity. Yeah, concise brevity? And exact use of words in writing or speech.
Did I spell concise? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm looking at like brevity NDIS software built specifically with NDIS providers in mind, brevity.com.au.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic for NDIS providers. But this movie's only an hour and 40 minutes. And, 5 to 10 of those minutes are maybe even more are credits. So you're in and you're out with this movie. So it's definitely something to just put on. Just, while you're thinking of, if you don't know what to watch, just watch Office Space and see if you enjoy it.
That's it. This was the movie. If you don't know what to watch, just watch Office Space and see if you enjoy it. Yeah. And so that's Vincent, Office Space. That's it. And we're out here on all social medias, so you can find us there.
And also head to Mick and Ori, and if you comment on the Mick and Ori podcast on their YouTube, whatever, and say that you want them to do an episode with the Back Catalogue podcast, they will do it. Let's get that going. Let's get Yumbo to 2K. Let's do it all. Talk soon.